Hi again. I'm sure most of us have cooked in our lives. On with the video. Back last year in 2024, I really wanted brownies, but I also wanted it to be somewhat healthy. For a while, I went with my issue unsolved, unresolved, and hollow. And then I found this brownie recipe by
Rahul Kamat.
called
19-calorie fudgy brownies. Low calorie and healthy.
So of course, I asked my uncle, the cook, about it first, and then when he said yes, we got the ingredients to make it from the grocery store. So the ingredients were oatmeal, cocoa powder, Greek yogurt, a sugar replacement, vanilla extract, optionally instant coffee, almond milk or water, don't forget the baking powder, salt, and egg whites. So we got all these, and that day started to mix the dry ingredients in the blender, as Mr. Kamat said. First the oats, then the sugar replacement, which we actually didn't put in here. Why? Well, because my uncle insisted instead of a sugar replacement, we use honey since it would be better for us anyway. This mistake alone probably wouldn't have gotten us anywhere bad, but the next ones probably did. Anyway, we put the oats, the instant coffee, both kinds of cocoa powder recommended in the video, and salt. Then we get some egg whites and whip them up. I said we get some egg whites and whip them up. I said we get some egg whites and whip them up. We're all out of eggs. My moms weren't home by this point, so we called them and desperately asked them to go get eggs for us to use, but they didn't answer our text or calls. So in that time, we prepped the rest of the wet ingredients. So when they got home, we told them and they went to get them, and we just kind of left the dry ingredients out with something covering them. So when we finally got the eggs, we whipped them and then whipped them again until we finally got a batch that worked out, and we put in the wet ingredients. We put in the wet ingredients. So yeah, you're not supposed to put the egg whites in the wet ingredients. You were supposed to leave it out until after you had mixed the rest of the wet and the dry. But we just decided to forget about that and mix, mix, mix. Eventually, we were left with a really liquidy batter. I tasted the batter like he did in the video and it was pretty good, but definitely wasn't the same consistency even after he added the eggs. We buttered the pan, we put in the mix, and finally, we were good to go. So we put them in the oven and 18 minutes later, out pops really flat, bitter brownies. I kind of liked it, but at the same time I didn't. So, why were they so flat? I don't understand. Well, we forgot the baking powder. It was in the fridge, but we had forgotten it, and if you don't know anything about baking, we learned the hard way that the baking powder is what makes a lot of baking things rise a bit, so we didn't do too well. So I ate pretty much all but 3 pieces and tried to get used to the really bitter taste at the end. Now I want to say really quickly, even though I made it clear in this video, I should say this is not the fault of Rahul Kamat. This is our fault for not being good with instructions and messing it all up. A few days later, we decided to use a brownie mix packet instead. Probably for the best. Oh yeah, and I'm a girl now. I'm allowed to transition in the middle of a video. Frick you.